Good morning, sir.
Very good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Very good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Karan. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Please, all of you mute your mic.
Okay.
Good morning.
Okay. So, once again, good morning to all. Okay, we are discussing about the microeconomics. Okay. Okay, in the part of this microeconomics, okay, in the last class we discussed about the basic concept of economics. Okay, the basic concept of the economics we discussed in the previous class. Okay. Okay, in today's class, we will try to discuss demand, elasticity of demand, and utility. Okay, demand and elasticity of demand. But these two concepts we will try to discuss in today's class. Okay, demand analysis. The demand analysis is one of the most important concepts in economics, particularly in the microeconomics. Okay, in the economics, okay, according to this economics, the total people are going to divide it into consumers and second one is called producers. Okay, consumers and producers. In these two categories, okay, we are going to divide this economics in these two categories. Consumers and producers. About the consumer, if we will discuss about the consumer, this is called consumer behavior. Okay, consumer behavior. If you discuss about the producers, it is called producers behavior. Okay, consumer behavior and producer behavior. So the demand analysis is the part of this consumer behavior. So the demand is the part of the consumer behavior, like demand, elasticity of demand, utility. In the part of utility, we can say cardinal utility and ordinal utility. All these things will come under the consumer behavior. But at the same time, we are also going to discuss about the production, supply, cost, everything. It will come under the producer behavior. The combination of the consumer behavior and the producer behavior is known as the what is called market. Okay, that is called market analysis. So like that, the market analysis, the production aspect, consumer aspect, all these things are going to be discussing in this part of this particular aspect. Okay, that's why in the part of this demand analysis, see, I already told you, demand analysis is the part of the consumer behavior. So in the part of this demand analysis, we are going to discuss the various topics like what is demand? That is the concept of the demand. And what are the factors are determining the demand? That is, what are the determined factors of the demand? And demand function. What is demand function? What is a demand schedule? Okay, what is the demand curve? What is the individual demand curve? What is the market demand curve? What is the individual schedule and market schedule? And types of the demand, like price demand, income demand, cross demand, like the various type of the demands we can see. And after that, we have to understand what is the law of demand and what is the shift demand and what is the movement in demand. Shift in demand and movement in the demand. The both will come here. So all this concept we are going to be discussing the part of the demand analysis. So in the demand analysis. So here, particularly, so what is demand? First, what is demand? Demand nothing but buying. Demand nothing but purchasing. Demand nothing but consumption. Okay, demand nothing but consumption. Demand nothing but purchasing. Okay, demand nothing but buying. This is the point we can see. Okay, purchasing, buying, everything demand. So, in particular period of time, please remember, economics always we will discuss for the particular period of time. Any economic aspect, okay, any economic aspect, we are going to discuss for the particular period of time only. So, in particular period of time, okay, in a particular period of time, okay, in particular period of time, the total goods and services, the total goods and services are ready to buy. Ready to buy or purchase is known as demand. Maybe called market demand. Since we are talking about the total of all goods and services, may be called market demand. If we discuss the buying of one commodity is known as the individual demand. So that's why if you erase this called total, so then it is called demand. Okay, the total how many goods of how many goods are ready to buy at a particular price in particular period of time is known as the demand. So in other words, so in particular period of time, okay, in particular period of time, that is one point, at a particular price, total how many goods are ready to purchase is known as the demand. Okay, this is what we call demand, we can say. Okay, if there is a 10 rupees price at a particular price, take for example, price is 10 rupees. If the price is 10 rupees, if suppose the people are purchasing only 100 commodities, that is the demand. Demand for that commodity is 100. Because in particular period of time, its particular price, the total this much of the commodity is ready to purchase by the people. Okay, generally that is. Okay, here, generally what will happen now? To have a demand for any commodity. Okay, to have a demand for any commodity, please remember, any commodity, any good. There are two important things is required. One is, what is important? So one is purchasing power is required. Purchasing power. Purchasing power means money. To purchase any commodity, what is required? First, you have money with you. Okay, money. The second one is desire to purchase. Okay, desire to purchase. The requirement to purchase. Necessary to purchase. These 2 points are very important. Without these 2 points, nobody will purchase. For example, you have a desire. The both is important, please remember at the same time. Suppose take you example, you have a desire to purchase one car. You have desire to purchase one car, but you don't have money. You have desire but no money with you. Can you purchase the car? No. Okay, suppose you have some crores of the money. You can purchase one cycle, but is there any desire? No. If there is no desire, can you purchase? No. So that's why one side desire is important and another side, what is important? And another side, purchasing is important. Okay, the both are very important. The both desire and purchasing both are important. Then only, that means money is required, desire is required. Money is required, necessary is required. Then only people will try to purchase any commodity. Okay, the people are going to purchase any commodity. So that is the point we can see. So whenever we are talking about this particular aspect, so the demand, nothing but so in particular period of time at a particular price, total how many goods are ready to buy the consumer is known as the demand. So to have a demand for any commodity, the 2 things are required. One is purchasing power is required, that is money is required, and another is desire is required. That is necessary is required, that is requirement is required. So then only the people will purchase the commodity, otherwise people may not be purchase the commodity. So that is one of the important aspect here. So that is the concept of the demand. So if we say, so then what are the concepts are going to be determining the demand? Okay, what are the things are going to determine the demand? Factors are determining the demand. So the price is one of the determined factors of the demand. Price. Generally, if there is a more price, the people will try to, purchase less commodities. If the price is less, the people are going to purchase more number of commodities. So like that, the price is one of the important factor to determine the demand. Okay, this is the one of the most important factor to determine the demand, we can say. And the second one is income of the consumer. Income, without income, people may not be purchased. So without income, the people may not be purchased the income. So whenever the people are having the more income, then they can purchase more commodities. If there is no income to the people may not be purchase the commodities. So that's why the income of the consumer is one of the most important factor to determine the demand. And along with the price and income, the other factors like time is important. The season is important. For example, if it is the summer season, there is a more demand for the cool drinks. Okay, cool drinks, they have more important. Under the winter season, there may not be much demand for the cool drinks. There may be more demand for the hot drinks during the what is called winter season. Like that. So the place and time, they are also the determinant factors of the demand. Okay, along with this time and place, substitution goods. Okay, substitution goods are also one of the important factors to determine the demand. What is the substitution goods? Substitution goods, nothing but alternative commodity. Instead of this commodity, we are going to use the another commodity, but getting the same level of the satisfaction. Okay, to get the same level of the satisfaction, if we are using either this commodity or that commodity, may be known as the substitution commodities. And complementary commodities. Complementary commodities, nothing but the both goods are combinedly giving the satisfaction. Okay, the combination of the goods are giving the what is called satisfaction. For example, if we want to wear the socks, the two is important. If we want to wear the chappal, two is important. If we want to have the coffee, the combination of things like milk, coffee powder, okay, like sugar, all these things are required. With one commodity, we cannot satisfy our desires. Okay, these are called complementary goods. If you want to construct one building, the cement may be required, bricks may be required, iron may be required. Like the combinations of goods are giving the satisfaction. If we want to go for transport in the bike and petrol, both are important. Both are called complementary goods. Only bike without petrol we cannot. With petrol, without bike, we cannot transport from one place to another place. Okay, for the travel, the both goods are required. That is called complementary goods. Substitution, either this or that. Suppose if you want to go from Hyderabad to somewhere, if you want to go from Hyderabad to Vijayawada, we can go by bus or train. Both are substitution goods. Bus or train or flight or by car. So all these are any one of the commodity we are going to use to get our satisfaction. This is called substitution goods. Okay, the substitution goods, complementary goods, price of the commodity, income of the consumer, time, place, all these things are going to be determining the demand. Okay, that's why all these points are called, all these factors are called determinant factors of the demand. So here, what is a demand function? What is a demand function? So now, here, I discussed 2 points. One is demand and another is determinant. Okay, determinants, factors of demand. One is demand and another one we discussed about the determinant factors of the demand. So if we combinedly discuss these 2 points in the equation called demand function. So the demand function is going to explain the functional relationship. Okay, functional relationship between demand and determinants, factors of demand is known as the demand function. Okay, whatever the relation we have between demand and determined factors of the demand, that is called demand function. So that's what demand function is nothing but. So this demand function is going to be explaining the functional relationship between this and this. Okay, yeah, in this demand, the demand is a dependent variable. Dependent variable. Whereas the determinants of the demand is a independent variable. Okay, independent variables. Independent variables. If we will explain the relationship between these two, what are the two? Dependent variable and independent variable. Okay, if we explain the relationship between independent variable and dependent variable, that is called demand function. So that's a demand function mathematically. Okay, the mathematically we can write like this: demand is a function of determinant factors of demand. What are the determinant factors of the demand? Price, income, related goods. What are the related goods? Like complementary goods or substitution goods. Both are called related goods. Time, taste, place, etc. All these are called determinant factors of the demand. P means price. Y means income of the consumer. R means related goods like substitution goods or complementary goods. T means time. P means place. T means taste and preferences. So all these are called determinant factors of the demand. So all these are independent variables. Okay, independent variables. Okay, this is known as the what is called a dependent variable. Okay, dependent variable. So if we will explain the relationship between demand and determinant factors of the demand, so it is known as the demand function. Okay, demand function. It is called demand function. Based on this demand function, okay, based on this demand function, okay, based on the demand function, the demand can be divided into three types. Okay, demand can be divided into three categories. Based on the demand function, the demand will be divided into three categories. That is, one is price demand. Price demand. The second one is income demand. And the third one is cross demand. Cross demand. Okay, demand is a function of price, income, related goods and etc. Like taste, preference, time, place, everything. But among them, these three are more important. Price, income, related goods. Okay, if we explain the relationship between demand and price, it is called price demand. శ్రీనివాసరావు ఎవరయ్యా నువ్వు? ఎన్నిసార్లు చెప్పినా కానీ మీరు ఇదే చేస్తారే?
Hello, sir.
చెప్పు.
Sir, repeated what is based on the price, different prices, income. How can you explain, sir?
Okay,
Repeat.
I'm coming.
Yes, sir.
So here, the demand, based on the demand function, demand divided into three categories. First, please mute yourself.
Okay, sir.
డౌట్ అడిగిన తర్వాత మళ్ళీ మ్యూట్ చేసుకోండి, లేకుంటే నీకు కాదు అందరికి డిస్టర్బెన్స్ అవుతుంది.
Sir, okay.
Okay, based on the demand function, this demand is divided into three categories, like price demand, income demand, and cross demand. Okay, we know already we discussed about the demand function. What is the demand function? Demand function is explaining the relationship between demand and determined factors of the demand. If nothing but a relation, functional relation between this and this. What are the determined factors of the demand? We know already. Price, income, related goods, and some taste, preference, place, and everything. But among these determined factors of the demand, these three are more important. What is the price, income, and related goods? Related goods means here substitution goods and complementary goods both will come. Substitution goods and complementary goods both will come. Okay, if we will explain the relationship between only demand and price, which is called price demand. If we will explain the relation between only demand and income, this is called income demand. If we will explain the relationship between demand and related commodities price, which is called cross demand. Okay, cross demand. So like this, the demand is divided into these three categories. Okay, here, see the price demand. What is the price demand? Okay, the price demand, see again, the price is a function of price, income, and related commodities price, etc. Okay, whenever we are talking about the price demand, we are discussing only the relationship between demand and determined factors of the demand is called price. That's why the price demand is nothing but demand is a function of price. Only in the demand price we are going to discuss only the relationship between price and demand, and other things are also there to determine the demand, but all other things we are assuming that they are constant. Okay, they are constant. Income is a constant. Related goods and prices is a constant. Your taste, your time, your preference, your place, everything is constant. But we are thinking, we are discussing only the relationship between price and demand. Okay, see, for example, one consumer, the consumer A is having 100 rupees income. 100 rupees income. The price of that commodity is, let's say, example, 10 rupees. Then how many goods he can buy? 10 commodities. Because he is having 100 rupees, each commodity's price is 10 rupees. That's why he can purchase 10 commodities. The quantity is nothing but demand will be for 10 commodities. Okay, 10 commodities. So here we are assuming that your income is constant. Okay, your income is constant. In the price demand, we are assuming that other things remain constant. What are the other things? Income may be constant, other things are may be constant. So your income is 100 rupees. Because it is, we are assuming that it is a constant. Then your price is 9 rupees. For example, price was decreased. What will happen? How many goods you can purchase? 11 commodities you can purchase. So that's why whenever your income is constant, if price increases, if the price decreases from 10 rupees to 9 rupees, it was decreases, then you are going to increase your purchasing from 10 to 11 commodities. That means if the price decreases, you can say the demand is going to be increases. No? Are you getting the points? Okay, if the price decreases, the demand increases. If other things are constant. Suppose your income is 100 rupees, it is a constant, but the price was increased instead of 10 to 11 rupees. Price was increased from 10 rupees to 11 rupees. Can you, how many goods you can purchase? You can purchase around 9 commodities only. So that means here the price increases, what happened? The demand for the goods decreases. So if the price increases, the demand is going to be decreases for the commodity. This is what we can understand in case of the price demand. So in case of the price demand, so these are the points. So that's why in case of the price demand, since it is the demand is a function of the price, if the price increases, the demand for the goods is going to decrease. If the price decreases, the demand for the commodity is going to increase. As long as income of the consumer, why means income? Income of the consumer is constant. Okay, constant. So that's why the demand curve, price demand curve always will be like this. Suppose on the OX axis we are measuring the demand. On the OY axis we are measuring the price. Suppose whenever this is the price, maybe this is the commodities for the this one. Suppose OM is the demand for the commodities. Whenever the this is the price. If the price increases, what happens? The demand is coming down. If the price increases from OP to OP1, the demand is coming down. If the price decreases, the demand is going to be increases. If the price decreases from OP to OP2, so the demand increases from OM to OM2. If we add all this one, this is called demand curve. This is called demand curve. So that's why the demand curve, please remember that the demand curve always lies downward slope. Okay, downward slope from left to right. So it is a downward slope from left to right because of negative relationship between price and demand. Price and demand, there is a negative relationship. This is called inverse relationship. This is called opposite relationship. Inverse relationship or opposite relationship between their price and demand. That's why the demand curve lies like this. Okay, this is called price demand. So price demand is nothing but it will explain the relationship between price and demand. Whenever we are talking about the price demand, we are assuming that other things like income of the consumer, related goods and prices and others are will be constant. If that is the thing, then the relationship between price and demand will be like this. So if the price increases, demand will come down, demand decreases, price will go up. So this is the demand curve. The demand curve slope will be negative slope, downward slope from left to right. Okay. So that is the price demand. And the second one is income demand. Okay, the second one is called what is called income demand. Okay, in the income demand, what happened? So we know that demand is a function of price, income, related goods and price and etc. Okay, now we are talking about the income demand. That means we are talking about the relationship between demand and income only. The demand is a function of income. Demand is a function of income. That is what we can see. Okay, the demand is a function of income. Whenever we are talking about the income, generally, if the people income increases, what will happen for the demand? మీరే ఎగ్జాంపుల్ తీసుకోండి. మీ దగ్గర డబ్బులు ఎక్కువ ఉన్నాయని కూడా మీరు ఏం చేస్తారు? ఎక్కువ వస్తువులు కొంటారు. Okay, if you take example, if you have more money, means more income, what you will do? You will try to purchase more number of commodities. That means the demand is going to be increases. If income is less, the demand for the commodity is going to be decreases. If no income, you cannot purchase more commodities. So that's why whenever we are talking about the income demand, so this is the demand measuring on the OX axis, where on the OY axis you are measuring the income. If this is the income, this is the demand for the commodity. If this is the income, this is the demand, because more income, more demand. If income is less, we are also purchasing less commodities. If we add all these points, this is called income demand curve. Income demand curve. The demand curve slope will be upward slope. The demand curve always will be what is called upward slope. So like this, the income demand is going to be explaining in the concept.
సార్ లెఫ్ట్ అయిపోయిండ్రా.
టైమే కాలే ఇంకా.
అప్పుడే అయిపోయింది ఆ క్లాస్.
హలో క్లాస్ 12:30 వరకు కదా?
12:30 బ్రో.
అవును సార్, అప్పుడే వెళ్ళిపోయిందా?
అరే అదేంటిది మధ్యలో వెళ్ళిపోయినా చెప్పలేదు.
ఫోన్ వచ్చినట్టుంది బ్రో.
మధ్యలో వరకే చెప్పింది. ఫోన్ వచ్చిందా మరి?
కదా
మొత్తం ఇంగ్లీష్ టు ఇంగ్లీష్ చెప్తుండగా బ్రో.
అర్థమవుతుందా బ్రో?
మామూలు అర్థమవుతుంది బ్రో.
అవుతుంది మినిమం అయితే అర్థమవుతుంది.
డిస్టర్బ్ అవుతుందా?
అర్థమవుతుంది.
నోట్స్ రాస్తున్నారు ఎవరైనా?
ఇప్పుడు నెక్స్ట్ క్లాస్ ఎలా అర్థమవుతుందో చూస్తున్నాం.
ఇంకా 30 మినిట్స్ ఉంటా కదా క్లాస్ కి.
నిద్ర వచ్చేస్తుంది ఆ క్లాస్ లో నాకు.
నిద్ర వస్తుందా బ్రో? నిద్ర వస్తుందా అంటున్నా క్లాస్ అంటే.
ఉంది ఇది ఉంది కానీ నెక్స్ట్ క్లాస్ అంటున్నాను. నెక్స్ట్ క్లాస్ అయితే అమ్మా
నెక్స్ట్ 3:30 నుంచి 4:30 ఉందా?
4:30 4 to 5 వరకు ఉంది కదా.
4 to 5 అవును. ఇది ఎకనామిక్స్ కదా చెప్పేది. హలో బ్రో, ఎకనామిక్స్ ఇది.
అవును ఎకనామిక్స్.
చాప్టర్ నేమ్ ఏంటి?
ఇప్పుడు చెప్పేది చాప్టర్ నెంబర్ థర్డ్ యూనిట్ 3.5 పేజ్ నెంబర్ 48.
పేజ్ నెంబర్ 48.
స్వాతి
8
48 బ్రో.
48 40.
హలో, ఇది క్రాస్ డిమాండ్ ఇంకా చెప్పలేదు కదా.
చెప్పలేడు.
మరి ఎందుకు లెఫ్ట్ అయిపోయారు ఆయన?
ఏమో సార్ అర్థం కాలేదు. ఫోన్ వచ్చిందేమో కదా.
ఫోన్ వచ్చింది అంటే లెఫ్ట్ అయిపోయింది.
ఇంకొక 10 minutes చూసి
ఎవరైనా తెలుగు
ఎవరిది అంతగానం డిస్టర్బెన్స్? ఎవరు చాట్ చేస్తారు, మాట్లాడొచ్చు కదా.
కిరణ్ అంట.
నేనే బ్రో, హైదరాబాద్ లో ఉన్నా ప్రస్తుతానికి. బ్రో ఏమైనా గ్రూప్ లో యాడ్ చేయండి బ్రో.
లింక్ పంపించారు కదా, యాడ్ కాలేవా?
అంటే గ్రూప్ లో
తీసుకుంటారా బ్రో?
ఏమో తెలియదు, వాళ్ళే తీసుకుంటారేమో కదా. అలా గ్రూప్ లో పెట్టిర్రు ఇందాక.
ఒకసారి లింక్ ఫార్వర్డ్ చేయండి రా బ్రో.
బ్రో నేను హైదరాబాద్ ఇక్కడ తుగూడ మహేశ్వరం సైడ్ ఉంటాను.
షేక్పేట్ మాది జూబ్లీ హిల్స్.
ఓకే ఓకే ఓకే. అబ్బా ఆఫీస్ దగ్గరనే ఉన్నారు కదా.
ఆఫీస్ దగ్గర నిన్న పోయి వచ్చిన బ్రో.
ఇచ్చిర్రా టెక్స్ట్ బుక్స్ ఇచ్చిర్రా?
నిన్న టెక్స్ట్ బుక్ ఇచ్చిర్రు.
ఓకే ఓకే
బ్రో టెక్స్ట్ బుక్స్ ఎక్కడ ఇస్తారు?
యూనివర్సిటీలో ఇస్తారు. ఎక్కడన్నా మీ కాలేజ్ ఎక్కడ?
మీ కాలేజ్ ఎక్కడ అక్కడ ఇస్తారు.
అయితే మేము అప్లై చేసేటప్పుడు ఫీజు కట్టలేదు అనమాట.
కట్టాలంటే
ఫీజు కట్టలేదు కదా. ఇప్పుడు కడితే ఏమన్నా
ట్యూషన్ ఫీ, యాక్చువల్గా ట్యూషన్ ఫీ కట్టాలి. ట్యూషన్ ఫీ కడతానే ఇస్తారట.
ట్యూషన్ ఫీ కట్టలేరా?
కట్టామండి, ట్యూషన్ ఫీ అయిపోయింది. ట్యూషన్ ఫీ కట్టాము. మాకు బుక్స్ కూడా వచ్చాయి.
మార్కెటింగ్ వచ్చాయి.
మాకు ఇంకా రాలేదు. ఇక్కడ
2-3 months అవుతుంది అవైలబుల్ లోకి వచ్చి. 2-3 months నుంచి ఇస్తున్నారు, డిస్ట్రిబ్యూట్ చేస్తున్నారు.
హలో సార్ వస్తాడా ఇప్పుడు?
తెలియదు కదా. హలో
బ్రో, లింక్ ఎట్లా ఇది?
పెట్టలేదా?
పెట్టలే లింక్.
ఓకే, మీ నంబర్ చెప్పండి.
90 145 830 20 బ్రో.
20. నేమ్ బ్రో మనది
కిరణ్ నాయక్.
ఓకే,
నాకు లింక్ షేర్ చేయరా? ఎకనామిక్స్ లింక్.
హలో అందరికి. మీరు డిస్టెన్స్ డిగ్రీతో పాటు బయట ఇంకో కోర్సెస్ లాంటి ఎవరైనా ఏమైనా చేస్తున్నారా?
చేస్తున్నాం బ్రో.
ఏంటి బ్రో?
మాది ఇది రేడియాలజీ.
ఓకే, అది రెగ్యులర్ కోర్స్ చేస్తున్నారా డిప్లొమా లాగా?
రెగ్యులర్ కోర్స్ అది.
ఓకే, సో అయితే రెగ్యులర్ డిప్లొమా ఏదైనా చేస్తూ డిస్టెన్స్ డిగ్రీ చేసుకోవచ్చు.
చేసుకోవచ్చు బ్రో.
పెట్టండి బ్రో, ఒకసారి నంబర్ చెప్తా.
చెప్పండి.
939 120 6679.
6679. పేరేంటిది?
మహేష్.
ఓకే బ్రో, పెడతాను లింక్.
ఇప్పుడు గ్రూప్ క్రియేట్ చేసినారా?
ఆల్రెడీ క్రియేట్ చేసారు కదా.
ఇంకా దాంట్లో ఏమన్నా యాడ్ చేయాలి మరి అది
ఇగో లింక్ పంపించారు కదా,
ఎవరు
ఇంకా ఎవరు అబ్బాయి తెలియదు.
లింక్ రాలేదు
బ్రో, నేనే పంపా బ్రో గ్రూప్.
హలో బ్రో,
చూడండి బ్రో, పంపా నేనే పంపా గ్రూప్.
పంపించాను మహేష్. ఒక నిమిషం
పంపించారా? ఇప్పుడు ఇంకోటి యాడ్ చేయరా మేము?
ఫస్ట్ యాడ్ అవుతావా?
ఇతను ఎవరు? ఫయాజ్ ఎవరు? BRAU
హైదరాబాద్ 37 participants group created by కళ్యాణం సుధాకర్.
ఓకే.
బ్రో ఇంకా రింగు రాదే కదా బ్రో?
ఉన్నావు
గ్రూప్ లో యాడ్ చేస్తావా?
హలో బ్రో,
సార్
వస్తాడంట, అవసరం వచ్చిందంట.
రాడు, టైం అయిపోయింది కదా బ్రో.
ఇష్టం వచ్చినప్పుడు పోతుంది.
హలో
హలో
హలో బ్రో.
బ్రో చెప్పండి.
ఎవరెవరు
అది
అర్థమవుతలేదు.
గ్రూప్ చేసుకురా మీరు?
ఎవరైనా ఒక్కని చెప్పండి
బ్రో. గ్రూప్ లా నా నేమ్ యాడ్ చేసినారా బ్రో?
ఎవరు?
మహేష్. హలో
హలో
బ్రో, ఎవరో ఒక్కరు మాట్లాడండి, అందరు మాట్లాడితే వినపడదు కదా.
హలో బ్రో. హలో
మాట్లాడండి.
చెప్పండి.
ఆ గ్రూప్ యాడ్ చేసాను రా, గ్రూప్ అన్నా చూడండి, లింక్ పంపిస్తాను.
ఓకే.
అందులో అన్ని యాడ్ చేయరా?
కొద్దిగా డౌట్ అడగాలి ఉంటే ఆయన వెళ్ళిపోయిండు. చెప్పకుండా వెళ్ళిపోయిండు ఆయన. అతను
బ్రో గ్రూప్ లో అడ్మిన్ చేశారా?
పెట్టినాక చేస్తాను కదా, ఇప్పుడే చేయలేను ఇంకా.
అదే నా నంబర్ చెప్పాను మహేష్.
ఇంటికి పోతున్నా
ఏం లే, ఈయన ఉన్నా, పోతున్నాను.
హాయ్ బ్రో, దిస్ ఇస్ శృతి. మీరు ఎవరైనా టెస్ట్ పేపర్స్ తీసుకున్నారండి?
టెస్ట్ పేపర్ అంటే నేను మెటీరియల్ తీసుకున్నాను.
మరి టెస్ట్ పేపర్స్ కూడా ఇచ్చారని చెప్పారు కదా, మనకు మెసేజెస్ వచ్చి.
ఎవరు
మెసేజ్ పంపించారు కదా మనకు ఫస్ట్ గ్రూప్ చేసినప్పుడు, టెస్ట్ పేపర్స్ కూడా తీసుకోండి అనేసి.
హలో
హలో,
శృతినా? పేపర్ హలో చెప్పండి శృతి.
టెస్ట్ పేపర్స్ తీసుకున్నారా అండి ఎవరన్నా?
టెస్ట్ పేపర్ అంటే వాళ్ళు మెటీరియల్ తీసుకుంటే వాళ్ళు ఇచ్చిర్రు కొన్ని టెస్ట్ పేపర్లు, ఒకటో రెండు ఉన్నాయి లాస్ట్ 2 years.
షేర్ చేయొచ్చు కదా కిరణ్.
ప్రైస్ ఎంత తీసుకున్నారండి చెప్తారా కొంచెం?
80 రూపీస్ ఒక మెటీరియల్ కాస్ట్. ఇక్కడ కోటిలో మన యూనివర్సిటీలో బుక్కులు తీసుకున్నా నిన్ననే. అట్లనే కోటికి పోయి BRO అంబేద్కర్
అంటే స్టడీ సెంటర్లు ఇవ్వలేదా అండి?
స్టడీ సెంటర్ లో నేను తీసుకోలే, నేను హైదరాబాద్ ఉన్నా కాబట్టి హైదరాబాద్ లో వచ్చేసిన. స్టడీ సెంటర్ మాది నల్గొండ.
ఓకే.
ప్రజెంట్ అయితే హైదరాబాద్ లో ఉన్నా కాబట్టి యూనివర్సిటీ దగ్గర నిన్న పోయి తీసుకుని వచ్చిన.
ఓకే, థ్యాంక్ యూ. మీ పేరండి?
కిరణ్ నాయక్.
ఓకేనండి, థ్యాంక్ యూ.
ఓకే, గ్రూప్ లో పెడతాను.
గ్రూప్ లో పెట్టు బ్రో కిరణ్.
ఓకే. ఎకనామిక్స్ గ్రూప్ అదే కదా బ్రో?
ఓకే.
ఓకే పెడతా. ఓకే బ్రో, మరి టైం అయింది కదా.
టైం అయింది వెళ్ళిపోవడమే. ఇంకేడున్నాడు సార్? జెండా ఎత్తేసిండు.
జెండా ఎత్తేసిండు వచ్చింది.
ఎకనామిక్స్ గ్రూప్ అని చెప్పి వేరే ఉన్నాయా? ఆల్రెడీ ఒకటే గ్రూప్ ఉంది అన్నింటికి కలిపి.
అన్ని గ్రూప్లు క్రియేట్ చేయండి బ్రో. ఎకనామిక్స్, పొలిటికల్ సైన్స్, హిస్టరీ గ్రూప్ లో యాడ్ చేయండి. లింక్ పంపి